stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Happy Monday. All right, Monday? Monday? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's Monday. Oh, I had a doctor's appointment this morning. In-person doctor's appointment. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. I think it's today. I hope it's today. Oh. At least I have insurance to be able to go to the doctor, but it's not something I really enjoy. But lately I've been, you know how life gets. It can be a lot, and things can start to pile up. So I've been taking care of one big thing at a time, and it seems to work. Getting insurance was a big thing. Getting my car taken care of, big thing. Um, I got a couple of cats I need to find a different home for. That's a big thing. But life can be an elephant sometimes, and there's only one way to eat an elephant. That would be one bite at a time. Oh, I am not awake. I wasn't awake yesterday. I got plenty of sleep, but I don't think I slept. I had like really weird dreams. I was at a house party all night. Didn't drink, didn't do any drugs. Yeah. So it was a sober dream. Weird. Weird. Who knows what our minds are thinking, right? When we're asleep. So, but good morning. Good morning, Amber. It's good to see you. I saw it last night and I actually meant to reply, but because Amber had said, I'm waiting for you to go live. And that was yesterday. And I'm like, well, you've been waiting a while, but I'm live now. Yeah, yeah, boring because I didn't party. It was just odd. It was just odd. Um, I was like, because I'm so used to having nightmares when it's situations like that where I'm drinking and being a dick and everybody hates me, but I was getting along with everybody in the dream. And at one point I messed up I hit somebody's ball over to their area, and I'm like, that's too bad. And they're like, you hit it. I'm like, yeah, I'm the one that hit it. So I'm gonna go over and grab your ball. Some kid tried to go get the ball too, and they fell into the lake. And so I pulled them out of the lake and then grabbed the ball. And yeah, yeah. All right. Not very adventurous dreams. Not very adventurous. My shoulder is killing me too. I'm going to the doctor, but not for my shoulder. I already have what I need for my shoulder. I'm supposed to be doing exercises that I haven't started doing yet. We're gonna be we're doing today's daily reflection. I don't have enough of a brain to come up with a topic outside of it, and it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. Go ahead and cover step 2 early in the month. You know, let's get started. Let's get this party started. But not like, yeah. Okay. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Wearing the purple daily or trudging together today because I'm going to the doctor's office, and it's people tend to ask. People tend to ask, and it's one of the ways that I tend to spread the word. Even the guy yesterday, I have a guy who's been working on our cars. He's going to buy my. We're making a deal. He's going to pick up my Benz and fix it. Whatever we sell it for, we're going to kind of split it. He's a cool guy, and even yesterday, I told him, because he's like, when can I pick it up? And I'm not in any huge rush, and he's got to feed his fucking family. I'm like, when you can, dude. I'm not in a rush. I'm a God guy, and it's gonna happen in God's time. Um, I've got to go to the dentist soon. If you're here, please say hello whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I'll be setting up a dentist appointment. I need another tooth pulled. I don't have many teeth. I have no teeth. From here back, I have no teeth. Oh, and I'm supposed to wear dentures, but I'm just too fucking vain. Well, if I was actually vain, I'd be wearing the dentures. Lazy? I don't know. But I need a new set of teeth. These are, it's why I don't smile. I smile, but not with my mouth. I have a missing tooth right here, and I'm just too embarrassed by it. Let's get started. All right. 12 Steps and Traditions. That is the wrong one. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 47. We're going to be getting to the point where it says we need to ask ourselves but one question. That's part of the problem too, is it doesn't really go into the daily reflection. I mean, it really covers what it wants to cover. It doesn't. All right. Anyway. All right. I'm going to start at the bottom of page 46. And good luck at the dentist, Amber. Before I forget, I hope everything goes okay. Did you know that dentists have one of the highest suicide rates of any profession? Yep, because they have to look at people's painful faces all day. And if you have any kind of empathy, that's going to fucking get to you, man. Anyway, all right. So, much to our relief, we discovered we did not need to consider another's conception of God. Our own conception, however inadequate, was sufficient to make the approach and to effect a contact with him. Now, I'm going to change this around a little bit because even a small part is not inadequate. Your conception is not inadequate. Now, they're saying that because it may feel like it's inadequate, like it doesn't reach a certain level, but there we are comparing again. Okay. Do not compare your higher powers either. It's not going to work. Right. Maybe you grew up Christian, maybe you grew up Mormon like me, maybe you grew up Catholic, maybe you went to Catholic school. A lot of times I have people that I work with that have a lot of religious training that they're just, so when they get to pick when you get to pick your own conception of God, what's really going on here is this is the first choice, or the first choices that is being given to you. That's all your own. And there's power in that. There's power in it. At what point did any alcoholic get any fucking choice over anything? And that's why it's so darn magical, man. Okay? Because it's yours. I'm extremely selfish with my higher power. Very, very selfish. As soon as we admitted the possible existence of a creative intelligence, a spirit of the universe underlying the totality of things, we began to be possessed by a new sense of power and direction, provided we took other simple steps. We found that God does not make too hard terms with those who seek him. To us, the realm of the spirit is broad, roomy, all-inclusive, never exclusive or forbidding to those who earnestly seek. It is open, we believe, to all men. Okay? Now, here's some of the reasons why you should absolutely keep people in your meetings. I'm tired of people being more concerned about kicking people out of meetings than they are concerned about doing what we can to bring people to AA. Where are we going to put it? Where are we going to put our power? What are we going to do with it, man? Because it's non-exclusive, never exclusive, ever. We are all inclusive. That means everybody. Yeah. When therefore we speak to you of God, we mean your own conception of God, your conception. Because nowhere in here is there a conception of God. Oh, no, that's not necessarily true. Sometimes they talk about group of drunks and things like that. So maybe there are a few conceptions in here, but I think they're more like examples to help you find your own conception. The example that got me was he is the father and we are his children. I never really had a father, so this was good news for me. This was good news. It made me happy, and now I have the best father in the whole world. Right? Because the man who raised me, he didn't want to be my father. He made that very, very clear. And my biological father didn't want anything to do with me. At least, well, I would say, because I got a hold of him at the end of his days. I knew him for about a year before he died, and I was never wasn't that close to him. He told me, don't come out and see me, you know. But if he really did want me in his life, I mean, he had, he had 50 years to do it. Okay, he died with 52 years of sobriety. Uh, he died when I was 52. No, no, that's not right. Yeah, it would have been 52. Because he got sober because he had gotten a girl pregnant and was in jail for stealing a bunch of guns. I was the child, right? And I guess he was approached while in jail, and they kicked him out of the state of Utah. He had to go to Idaho and get his life back together. It's about all I know. Well, I do know that he was a vet and that he worked with vets, and a lot of people are, oh, he's a great guy, but still at the same time, where was my ninth step, man? Where was mine? He never gave it to me. So, um, now can we expect ninth steps? No. And I knew better already. I wasn't expecting a ninth step from him. So, all right. And therefore we speak to you. This applies to other spiritual expressions which you may find in this book. Do not let any prejudice you may have against spiritual terms deter you from honestly asking yourself what they mean to you. What they mean to you, not other people, not what you read in the Bible, maybe what you read in the Bible. I don't know. I don't know. But you do not have to take any forced type of conception from anyone else. No. I wouldn't do that to my children. Would you do that to your children? Well, here we are being God's children right now. At the start, this was all we needed to commence spiritual growth to affect our first conscious relation with God as we understood Him. Afterwards, we found ourselves accepting many things which seemed entirely out of reach. That was growth. But if we wished to grow, we had to begin somewhere. So we used our own conception, however limited it was. Okay. My conception will probably always be limited. And that is because I'm a finite person. Okay. And finite means my thinking is limited. It is not infinite. I consider us spiritual beings living a human experience. I do. I believe that we're spiritual. We're all spiritual beings living an experience. We needed to ask ourselves one short question. Do I believe, or am I even willing to believe that there is a power greater than myself? The willingness is such a fantastic tool. It helps, willingness helps more alcoholics. Resentment kills more alcoholics, but willingness helps more alcoholics than any other thing I know. Because when I say if you're willing, well, it feels a little different, right? Yeah. In fact, when I ask people to do the podcast, I almost always put the word willing in there. Are you willing to tell your story? Because it also gives them an out. I'm not quite there yet. Okay, and that's fair. That is fair. See, it's up to that person on whether they're ready to share their story or not. Okay, not everybody's ready. Not everybody's ready, and that's okay too. Go get a little more, not necessarily time under your belt, but more experience under your belt. Yeah, because when we're sharing our stories, what people really want to get to is what it's like now. They want people to know that they're doing better, that they overcome these hard things, right? And if what it was like now outweighs, or what it was like outweighs what it's like now, the person may not feel balanced when they're done with their story. They may feel incomplete. And I don't want to do that to them either, right? I take a lot of things into account when we do the podcast. I'm on Smoking Oak Free. Spelling counts, my friends. I'm seeing, and I'm only saying that because I see a lot of posts, and they're just misspelled. I'm on Smoking Oak Free Wi-Fi. Must be the restaurant. Oh, okay. The next door is Smoking Oak. Got it. And you're on their Wi-Fi. Got it. Well, then here it is. Today's Daily Trust is brought to you by Smoking Oak, where you can get free Wi-Fi while at the dentist. There we go. That's our sponsor for the day, Smoking Oak, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. See, we're so nice here, promoting Smoking Oak because they gave us free Wi-Fi so Amber could be a part of. Yep. As soon as a man can say that he does believe, or is even willing to believe, we emphatically assure him he is on his way. It has been repeatedly proven among us that upon this simple cornerstone, a wonderfully effective spiritual structure can be built. And it's your structure. It's yours. Finally, something that's yours that nobody else really gets to have. That's important to us alcoholics. We weren't given, for me, it was a big deal. And I'll tell you why, because this is how my life has always gone. My older brother, he got new clothes, but I got his hand-me-downs. My younger brothers and sister always got new clothes. I always got the hand-me-downs. Always. I hardly ever got anything that was new that was mine. That was bought for me. So I made my own money and bought my own shit. Oh, we're just trying to save money. It still wasn't fair. I felt like a second-class citizen in my own home. There was never anything that was just Dion's. I had to share my room. I had to share this. I had to share that. Always. So finding my own conception of God was a big deal to me. Now you know why I'm so selfish about it. Right? Now what's cool about my higher power is my higher power is malleable. I don't think that my higher power is different than your higher power. I just think that we both have a different conception. And that's the beautiful part. Yeah. I don't know if I'm right or not. Okay. But that's not something that I sit around and dwell on all day either. That was the great news for us, for we had assumed we could not make much use of spiritual principles unless we accepted many things on faith which seemed difficult to believe. When people presented us with spiritual approaches, how frequently did we all say, I wish I had what that man has. I'm sure it would work if only I could believe as he believes. But I cannot accept as surely true the many articles of faith which are so plain to him. So it was comforting to learn that we could commence at a simpler level, right? I have had a lot of experiences with God, a lot. I have a lot of courage, a lot of courage. I have a lot of trust in my higher power. I mean, my life is built around it. I don't, today I have a doctor's appointment and I'll hit a meeting. It is my only plan, but I'm pretty sure it'll end up getting filled up. Somebody will call. Something will happen. It's weird. I'm always busy, but I'm always available. Almost always available. Some people have a knack for calling me every time I'm in a meeting. It's like, well, don't call me, go to the meeting. And then you'll see me there. I'm just being a smart ass on that, by the way. All right. So we could commence at a simple level. Recovery is free and simple. Anything beyond that is not recovery. Not in my book. For Dion, I'm gonna have to say. Right? Yeah. Besides the seeming inability to accept much on faith, we often found ourselves handicapped by obstinacy, sensitiveness, and unreasoning prejudice. Mine was the obstinacy and sensitiveness. I was a very sensitive person. I'm still a very sensitive person. It's just I've learned how to work with it now. But I'm still sensitive. Sometimes people say something to me and I get sensitive about it. hmm In fact, I'll admit one right now because Amber's here and I know she knows me well enough. Okay, I got a little upset because we do fifth steps differently. I did. It upset me for like half the day the other day. I knew it was me. I knew it was me being sensitive. Okay, I'm laughing at it now because coming out of my mouth sounds kind of silly. But I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because I want my friends to be like me, because then there's a comfort in there that I know you're not going to leave. But I already know she ain't going to go. She ain't leaving. Not over that, right? So, and Amber, thank you for letting me utilize that. Okay. But yeah, I'm sensitive. I didn't have any unreasoning prejudice because I always believed in God. And every time I heard people, well, God will damn you to hell. I did, my gut just doesn't agree. And I've always listened to my intuition when it comes to that. Many of us have been so touchy that even a casual reference to spiritual things made us bristle with antagonism. This sort of thinking had to be abandoned. Though some of us resisted, we found no great difficulty in casting aside such feelings. Faced with alcoholic destruction, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us, we soon became as open minded on spiritual matters as we had tried to be on other questions. In this respect, alcohol was a great persuader. It finally beat us into a state of reasonableness. Sometimes this was a tedious process. We hope that no one else will be prejudiced for as long as some of us were. All right, let's go to here. Fill in the void. We need to ask ourselves about one question is the part here that they're covering. I was always fascinated with the study of scientific principles. I was emotionally and physically distant from people while I pursued absolute knowledge. God and spirituality were meaningless academic exercises. I was a modern man of science. Knowledge was my higher power. I love science, but it's still God. We wouldn't we wouldn't have all these things to mix together and do sciencey stuff without God's perfect world. It wouldn't be possible. That's the way I've always seen it. I love science. I find it very fascinating. Um, Mostly because I don't understand it. What? Sound familiar? All right. Given the right set of equations, life was merely another problem to solve. Yet my inner self was dying for my outer man's solution to life's problems, and the solution was alcohol. In spite of my intelligence, alcohol became my higher power. It was through the unconditional love which emanated from AA people and meetings that I was be able to discard alcohol as my higher power. Yeah, I agree with that. I was one of those people who had to be loved into the program. I I hated me with a vengeance. Suicide was not good enough for Dion. Okay? It wasn't true. I was lying to myself. The great void was filled. I was no longer lonely and apart from life. I found a true power greater than myself. I had found God's love. There was only one equation which really matters to me now. God is in AA. All right, it's gonna be it. Gotta get ready and stuff. My appointment isn't until 10:40, but I don't like to rush, so I gotta take my time getting ready and all that other stuff. So thank you everybody for being here. Amber, it's always good to see you. Thank you everybody. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And